So this is a TDD framework. What is wrong with this TDD framework? In this TDD framework, we have page object class, we have utility classes. So the main test cases are done by a tool called TestNG. This TestNG, so whenever we want to do a TDD framework, we use a tool called TestNG. So, and this TestNG like facilitates the procedure. How does it facilitate? For every class, it provides for, so every class has different, so in manual testing, every class has many steps. When you want to automate them, then every class will, those steps will be turned into methods. So TestNG provides annotation for those methods. TestNG provides annotation for those methods. For example, class annotation, method annotation. So then we will, it will, so what is the main thing that TestNG does? It just categorize the methods we have in one class or test cases. So that's why we use TestNG. Okay, and what is the pros and cons? The bad thing about it, then there is something wrong about this procedure, that this procedure or TDD framework is not only it's good for technical people. Imagine in a company or in a project, a product backlog, a product manager, and also the whoever is responsible, for example, the Scrum Master, they are non-technical people. It's very hard to for them to realize what's going on here. So so like test cases, external reports, property, and also initializer, whatever we have here, this is only understandable for developers and testers. So in TDD framework. So that's why BDD comes in picture. So what is the only benefit of BDD? BDD is only, the only difference is that BDD is understandable for non-technical people. Non-technical people. So they can easily understand BDD, because when it comes to DDD, so for even the tester should have the skill to do the manual testing stuff, and then when he is done with them, then he's starting automating them. So by using all these features, or I can say technologies, then this is very tough for non-technical people to understand it. That's why BDD comes in picture. When BDD comes in picture, everything is now different. So here, as I told you, TDD start from manual test cases, then we start automating them. And another thing about TDD framework at TestNG, it only does, let me write it here. It only does a functional testing. So with TDD framework, we only do functional testing. What is functional testing? Functional testing, it's very detailed or in-depth testing. So we test the functionality of the system, overall functionality. It means a very detailed testing. But when it comes to BDD, remember this, BDD always test acceptance testing. So we do acceptance testing. So what is acceptance testing? So, or it's like, it's not detailed. Only we see if the product works fine as a user. So we do acceptance testing as a user. So we use the system. So we just want to, if I go back to this, so I want to just go on the website. So click on this, then see if it is fine. Then click on this, select this. This is not detailed. This is very, very like, if I can say, it's not detailed, it's like overall understanding of the software. So as a user, it does only acceptance testing. But in TDD framework, which we use the tool called TestNG, we use functional testing. Functional testing is a very detailed kind of testing. So we test the functionality of the system, and we have to go in depth inside the software. Okay, now why companies are moving toward BDD? Okay, let me just get another one, because we have a lot of missing here. Okay, so why companies are going to BDD framework? This is BDD. Okay, let me just let me just, this guy, it's not a guy. Let's see if it's a guy. This guy is a product owner. He collects all the requirements from the customers. These requirements are, if he has a lot of requirement, they are epics. And then larger ones are epics and smaller ones are stories. So this guy is responsible to communicate with the customer and collect all the requirements. When it comes to TDD, so we already have the information here. So these are all the functionalities that we collect from the customer, okay? But so he collects all the information. So they are called all the functionality. So first of all, what does he collects? He collects all the requirements. Remember this. He collects all the requirements. So when it comes to Agile, these requirements, we never say requirements. We call them epics or stories. Remember, product owner collects the information from the customer. So they are called requirements. Okay. But once we go into Agile, in Agile, we never say requirement. We say epics and stories. What are epics? What are stories? Epics are larger requirements. And then when we divide them into a smaller requirements, then they are called stories. Okay. And now when we do BDD testing, this is BDD. Okay. Why do we do BDD testing? Because non-technical people can understand. Sorry for my mouth, it's wrong. Okay, non-technical people can understand. Okay, so who are non-technical people? When you work in a project, so product owner, sorry, is the non-technical people. A stakeholder is the non-technical people. Okay, so these are non-technical people. They can easily understand BDD framework, but how do they understand it easily? That they don't understand the TDD framework. Because when it comes to Agile, requirements are considered as epics and stories. So when we do TDD framework, they are called epics and stories and requirements. So we gather through manual testing. But when it comes to Agile, they are called epics and stories. But in BDD framework, these are called features. They are only features. Whenever we talk about features, it means they are epics and stories. Okay, what is epic? What is a story? Imagine this is a feature file. Yeah. So how do we, how in BDD framework, how do we interact with it? So in BDD framework, so we have a feature here. And then there are different scenarios. Scenario one has steps 1, 2, 3, 4. Every scenario in feature file, it's a story. They're called is one story. Every scenario is called a story. Okay, so but imagine you have one scenario. These scenario, they have different steps. There's another scenario here. Okay, there's another scenario. So now there are two scenarios here. 1, 2. Imagine there is another scenario. This scenario has steps 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many scenarios do we have in this feature file? We have 1, 2, 3 scenarios. Every scenario has different steps. Now, so this is, every scenario is a story, but every scenario is a story. And now this feature file that has different scenario, it's an epic. Epic contains different stories in Agile, but when it comes to BDD framework, every scenario is a story because every scenario does something. A story does something. What is a story? A story is a functionality in a manual testing. In Agile, it is called a story. What does it do? It does something. It means, so this is a story. What does it mean? That it does something. to the software. This is a feature, this is a story. And now when it comes to here, every one feature file, if the feature file has one scenario, that's called a story. That scenario is called a story. When it has different scenarios, many scenarios, then that's an epic. But we, in BDD framework, we never say epic or stories. We say, so for stories, we say scenario, and for epics, we say, we call them features. It means one feature file can have many scenarios, and one epic contains a lot of scenarios. So this is the main thing. Now, this is the product owner. He collects all the information from the customer and then the requirements. When it comes to agile, these are epics, and bigger, larger requirements are called epics. Smaller are called the stories. So I'm not going to talk about manual testing parts, but just so now in TDD, in BDD, epics are in a one feature file that has many scenarios. So those scenarios are stories. Okay, and a story is a feature that is defined, like this is a feature, this does something, okay, and this is a story, this is another story, and this is another story. They are common in one feature file. What is this called? This is a feature file. Now in agile, this is called an epic that we already studied there, okay. And now once everything is collected, so in TDD framework, we do the test cases through the manual testing. For those manual testing, we have 5 test cases. For every test case, we create a class. We create a class for every test case. And then that test case contains contains a steps. For every steps, we create methods here. So, but in Cucumber, we never do it. We never do something like that. Straightforward, we go to the feature file. We start from the feature. What does it mean? We only start from the epics and stories that is provided by the product owner. And where are those epics and stories? How can we get them? You guys know that. When this guy, product owner, collects everything from the customer, he keeps them inside something. This is called product backlog. This product backlog contains all the stories, everything. These stories are, when we use agile methodology, they are called the stories. But when we are not using, when we use a waterfall, they are requirements. When we use agile, these are called the stories. Okay? When we use agile. When we use waterfall, these are all called requirements. So he gathers everything, then those are kept in a product backlog. What is product backlog? Product backlog is normally it can be an Excel file that has all the features, all the stories. What are those stories? They're not something physical. They are just list of all the requirements, list of requirement in an Excel file, for example. So every requirement in Agile is called a story. So he keeps everything inside that. And then, so I think I talked a lot. Are you guys understanding, or any questions till here?
I'm good so far.
Let me know if any questions.
No question from my side.
No question, pretty clear.
No questions. Okay. And do you want me to go deeper inside? Because okay, okay, he collects everything, and they are requirements when you use waterfall. But when you use agile, they are all called stories and epics. Those are kept inside something called product backlog. What is that product backlog? It's not a container. It's not like that you keep everything inside and then you close the door. It's an Excel file that has everything is listed there. Everything is prepared. Now, when we do manual testing, when we do automation through BDD framework, what we do, so imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, we go to 10, we go to 100. There are 100 stories in this product backlog. There are 100 stories. Let me just go to another page. Okay, again, this person, this person is the product owner. Okay, he collects everything, all the requirements. Again, he collects everything, all the requirements. I think it just said I made something wrong. This person, he collects everything. What are those called? They are called requirements when we are using waterfall. Then when it comes to Agile, these requirements will turn into stories when we are using Agile. Okay, then these stories are kept inside of a place. That place is called product backlog. 1 to 100, they're all stories from 1 to 100. Okay, now if you want to use these, what should we do? Then testers, tester, developer, product owner, scrum master, they all get together. What to do? What to decide what? So these are all the requirements in an Excel file. Okay, in an Excel file mostly. So we have all the these are called functionality, friends. Functionality, because they are in detail. It shows that about the software. So these are all called functionalities. Okay, but when we are using functionalities, when we use waterfall, this is requirement. Okay, they're functionality of the software. Functionality of the software. When we do all of these, what will be created? A software will be created. So when we follow everything, a software will be created. So by putting all this functionality together from 1 to 100, then a software will be created. Okay, and now, so then this is agile process. We want to start from the very beginning. Okay, this is the tester, this is the product owner, this is the developer, this is the scrum master, this is another tester, because you can have many testers or developers, but not two product owners or scrum masters. Okay, or maybe you, depends to the company, you cannot say it for sure. Okay, everything is done here. They are all stories because we are following agile. If you are following waterfall, these are all functionalities or requirements. Remember. Okay. Now this is the first day of the project. This is a project. Now we gathered together. What is we want to start working? We are these people. What should we do? We get together. This is a meeting. What is this meeting? This is a sprint planning meeting. What does this mean? Because we want to start working on a software. We want to get some stories to work on. So when we want to decide what to get to start working, this is a sprint planning meeting. Okay, and this is sprint planning meeting. We talk together to what to get out of this product backlog, and then we have something here. This is product backlog, remember, but this one is a sprint backlog. Okay, we get together, we talk about everything. So imagine there are 1 to 100. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1 is a login feature. Number 2 is a imagine a search feature. Number 3, imagine is another feature like edit feature or whatever. Then we get together, we decide, okay, and this is sprint, this is a sprint backlog. Okay, we decide, okay, we can finish these two, then we have a spring here. Okay, this is a spring. We decide, okay, let's get 3 of these. How many will be left? 97. So what are these 3? There's one login, one is search, or what, don't know, one is edit or whatever, depends to the software. But how we decide what to choose? We don't say, okay, this is 1, let's start from 1. No, we decide based on the prioritization. Like this guy decide what to pick up. This guy said these 3 has the highest priority. Okay, We never say, okay, let's get login. No, let's get search. No, let's get it. No, we never say that. This guy, the product owner, decides based on the priority. Who gives the priority to him? The customer. Because, or even if the customer doesn't give anything, he prioritizes the procedure. And then, so he says, okay, let's get these three. They are the highest. They have the highest priority. And then tester, developer, they decide, okay, how long will this take? The sprint will take 2 to 4 weeks. Then we decide, okay, these three, the product owner says, okay, take these three. Then we decide how long these three will take. Then no one can say something. Developer gives her idea or his idea, tester the same, and then we come to an agreement. Okay, it's gonna take. How do we say? We call by Fibonacci series or Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci numbers, okay? And then based on the each, so in companies, in some companies, one number is 1 day. In some companies, one Fibonacci is only like one test. It is considered one test case or something. It depends. We never can say something sharp. Okay, and now they say, okay, it will take 2 weeks. These will take 2 weeks. What is this? This is a sprint. Okay. So what did we choose from the product backlog? We choose 3 things. Okay, then we put these 3 things inside the sprint backlog. What is this? Login. The other one, search. And the other one was, what was that? For example, editing or whatever. These are all only examples. Okay, so for the sprint product backlog, we decide what to pick from the product backlog. In a sprint product backlog, in sprint product backlog, we decide what to get from this. And then after we decide, so we're going to get this, we take these and put inside the product backlog, a sprint backlog. A sprint backlog, again, is an Excel file or something like that, that has all the features on the list. And after that, based on that, we decide, okay, we are going to, in this sprint, we are going to do this. So this is the spring. Imagine this spring is, the number of the spring is x20 or x1, let's say x1. In this spring, we are going to work on these features. Whatever feature we are supposed to work on, we put them inside the sprint backlog. Where we get them? We get them from product backlog. Okay, now we had 100, now we have 95. Okay, because we put 3 in a sprint backlog, and then we are going to pick everything from the sprint backlog and put it and do them inside the sprint. What is a sprint? So what are these? These are stories. How many stories do we have? 1 story, 2 story, 3 stories. These stories, based on the conversation we had, we decided, okay, the developer gave his idea, the tester did the same thing. Okay, it's going to take 2 weeks, or, and then now we are going to work on these stories in this sprint. Okay, and after we did that, what is a sprint? So what are these? These are features. 1, 2, 3, 4. A sprint is the duration to complete the stories. This is the easiest definition you can have. What is a sprint? A sprint is a duration. My mouse is crazy, sorry. A sprint is a duration to complete user stories or stories. How many stories do we have? 3 stories. So we put them in the sprint backlog, and then we had a meeting, a sprint planning meeting. So what do we want to develop or work on during this sprint, which is the X1? Okay, then we got to conclusion that based on the priority, the product owner said, okay, you need to work on this. How long will this take? He cannot decide, okay, you guys need to do it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Then we decide, okay, based on the Fibonacci number, this is going to take, for example, 2 weeks. Okay, then we pick this up and we put all these stories inside the sprint backlog. And then within 2 weeks, we are going to finish whatever we have inside this story, sprint backlog, whatever we have. Okay, and then after we do everything, so what do we do in this sprint? In this sprint, what did I say? Sprint. This is a sprint. Sorry. Okay, in the sprint, we develop whatever we have, we finish whatever we have in the sprint backlog. Imagine when, after we finish that, and then we start tomorrow. Every day we have a Scrum Master meeting. In the Scrum Master meeting, then there are 3 questions here. What is going on? How everything is going on? How everything is going on? Any blocker? Are you guys having any issue? Any blocker? And there are 3 questions. And also, how is everything going on? Any blockers? And also, there is another question, for example, about how things are going. If you have anything, you will say. Once a spring is done, after 2 weeks, then we have a spring respector meeting. What is that? Then after sprint is done, we say what was any question. So what did well? What did well? So what did not do well, or what did not go well? And then we decide, we talk about things that any issue we have during completing the stories. But in BDD framework, that is our main thing. So we get everything from the backlog in BDD framework, since it's very, very easy and non-technical people can understand it. The product owner, after this, the product owner can just create the use stories and then gives to developer. So he can create everything and he can write down the stories. So these are the stories. He's going to write them down and give it to the tester. So the tester will start that. Then you will have a sprint and whatever. But this is the main thing. We talk about it. We talk about the time and whatever. But what we are going to do on this login, what we're going to do on this search, and what we're going to do on this edit, the product owner can write it because of BDD framework. And because BDD framework is understood by non-technical people, so stories or features are written by product owner, Scrum masters, and testers. So then he can just write the features for this and give it to developer or to tester. Then developer will put the tester will put everything here, and then whenever product owner see these, that's very easy to understand. Okay, because he writes everything, or even if the tester writes, he can understand it. But what is bad about TDD? In TDD framework, he doesn't understand, because you got to be very, very like professional or technical to understand what's going on. Maybe something is missing by developer or tester, so the product owner doesn't know. But in BDD framework, how does the product owner knows that everything is being followed, everything is completely followed? Because of this. Okay. Once everything is given to the tester, so how do we start in BDD framework? The first things we do is the feature file. So the feature file contains all the features. Those features are called stories. If they are bigger, they are called epics. And they are given through product owner, and who gives to product owner? Customer. Okay, now product owner, once he gets everything, he can just write the features and give to tester, and tester will get all whatever the product owner is within based on the features, and then the tester will put everything here. Okay, but now how does the product owner knows that the tester is not going to miss anything? Because whatever information you have here in the feature file, you must have that step inside the step definition. You must have it, because if you don't put the whatever you have here, okay, if you have a step here, then you must have a method for it. If you don't put a method inside a step definition, then your framework is not going to work, not at all, because you have an undefined step here. Whenever you have a step, you need to create a method for that inside the step definition. As long as you don't have any method for that step, which you have inside your feature file, is not going to work. And how does he know? Because these steps are readable, and sometimes he writes those steps, those features for you. So user should go on the website. User should enter username. User should enter password. User should see this, and user should log out. He sees everything. If you miss something, if you miss this, then it's not gonna work. Nothing will be working. So once he sees everything, and another thing, product owner cannot understand the feature file because he is a non-technical person. He is non-technical. He doesn't understand this. But on the other hand, he doesn't care, because what should he care about is this file, feature file. In Cucumber, in BDD framework, so BDD is a framework, okay? Then for doing that, we use a tool. That tool is called Cucumber, okay? Cucumber is not a BDD, remember. That's a tool. It's called Cucumber. And then another tool for that is SpecFlow. SpecFlow. But for TDD, we have a tool called TestNG. And also JUnit. That was an older version. But now TestNG is very famous. And now here, Cucumber is very famous for BDD. And BDD is a behavior, it checks the behavior of the application by doing acceptance testing. TDD, it works on its functionality. And it works on the functionality, and also it is very detailed, very, very detailed. BDD only acceptance testing, and it's not detailed. It's only we check everything as a user. In BDD, we do user acceptance testing. Imagine we are a user. We want to click on this, enter this, whatever. Okay, these are tools. Okay, the product owner only should care about this feature file, because everything is clear here. Imagine I'm not a technical people, but I can read. Okay, should do this, do this, do this. This is very understandable. If I miss any of these, if I don't do this, then I will not have a I will not okay. Imagine if I miss any of that, if I put this, then if I run this, okay, then Cucumber will tell me you have not defined this. You have to define this. So once product owner sees this, okay, he will be sure, okay, the tester cannot miss anything, because if the tester miss any of these steps, then the software is not going to work. Okay, and on the other hand, these are mostly written by product owner. Okay, tester can write this, product owner can write this, and also maybe a stakeholder. But once it comes to TDD framework, no one can write this. Only technical people. Who are technical people there? Developer and testers. So product backlog, the product owner has no idea. He doesn't know if is the tester following everything, is the developer following everything. He really doesn't know. But here, when it comes to BDD framework, he knows everything, because everything, when you have everything in feature file, it's a must that you need to have it in step definition, because every step will turn into a method, every step. And inside the feature file, then you will categorize them in stories. Those stories are called, those scenarios are called, I'm just missing everything. So those scenarios are called stories. These are stories. So one scenario, two scenario, three scenario. Then all of these in Agile called epics. In Cucumber, they are feature. That's easy. And then you will run your class through a test runner class. And that's the only thing. This is a test runner class. After you have everything defined here. This is, again, non-technical people cannot understand this, again. But before, this is something that depends to this. So that's why product owner doesn't care about this. When product owner sees everything here, then he's sure, okay, the tester cannot miss anything because he has to create a method for this. He has to do. Once everything is missing here, then there is an issue, because once something is missing, then and no method will be created for that. But something is present, uh, it, it must be followed. But here, the product owner does not have any idea what is going on here. Imagine if something is happening here, he doesn't know if something is missing inside the test case. And also for the manual part, he or she doesn't have any idea, because it's also a technical thing. This is something that non-technical people do not understand. But here is the easiest file. Kids can read this. Let's just wrap it up this way. Even kids can read this. So this is a story, because every story defines a functionality. So you do this, do this, do this. Okay. All these stories are featured in Cucumber. All these stories, all these scenarios are featured, but in Agile, these are all called epics. And I hope you guys understood and it was clear for you guys. Any question, guys? I'm not sure if you guys understood. Was that helpful?
Thanks, Mr. Rafiq. Yeah, it was clear for me, and you explained with details I really understand. Are you going to work on methods or some scenario, practical, I mean?
Okay. Okay, any question? No question. Let's see. Good. Now let's go and do our process. Okay, so let me give you an example when we don't have any framework or any utility classes, any whatever. Then how should we proceed? Okay, this is a login I have here. Okay, this is a login I have here that I want to just show you. And in this login, let me. Okay, so this is a imagine this is something that I need to work on. Here in my framework, I do not have anything. It means if you come here, there is no utility class inside my test folder. Only I have a step definition. Okay, I have my test runner, and also inside the main, I even do not have any folder inside the main. Inside the test, I have only a step definition that I created, and also a test runner that, so we can put everything here. And then I can put also my feature file here, but I created my feature file in the project. Okay, it means we do not have anything. We do not have anything. Okay, so I want to show you something before that. Just learn how it works. Okay, so this is my step definition. This is my feature file. Okay, so when I don't have any utility classes, okay, when I don't have any utility classes, imagine for here I say, let me just, so I want to show you the difference between having utility classes and also between not having utility classes. Let me just, okay. So this is my one scenario. Okay, this scenario, I want to do something. So here, this is a blank project. I do not have anything. Okay, here it says, okay, given I'm in the browser, open the browser. So enter the URL, and then I should click on my account menu. Then I should enter my username, enter password, clicks on the login, and then I should see that I'm successfully logged in. Okay, very easy. So it means that I should go here, click my account menu. Okay, after I click, I should enter the username, enter the password, then I should log in. And once I log in, I should see that if I'm logged in successfully or not. Okay, so I'm doing it without any supportive classes. I just want to show you the difference that you guys understand. So I need to use Selenium here a lot. I mean, so what do I mean? I want to do everything inside. So let me just show you this way. If I want to do that, this is one class I have. Then I don't have supportive classes. Okay, this is one class I have. This is called a step definition. Then I need to do everything here. It means I need to use all the Selenium, okay? And I need to create all the methods. And so there is no utility class I use, okay? There is no, if I say there is no extends report that I can use, there is no initializer that I can use. So I need to put everything inside the class. So how to do that, I'm gonna show you. So once you do the project, you can learn. Okay, here, one scenario. What's the last scenario? Son, could you please work on the last scenario? What is this? I don't know. Which scenario do you mean? So I'm going to only work on this
Hello.
because we don't have time. So that's why I want to show you. So can you just tell me what scenario you mean? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
So then I put everything here, and so let me do something that you guys understand. I want to comment everything. This one. Okay. No. Okay, so imagine, because you guys know that. So I put everything here, then I right click here, then I said run as a cucumber feature. Then it gives me these methods. So the first one, given open the browser, then it gives me this, open the browser. Okay, now for opening the browser, guys, okay, since I do not have any supportive classes, okay, since I do not have any supportive classes, I need to do everything from scratch. Let me see what is going on with my code. Okay, so open the browser, then I open the browser. Here, see how my job is tough. I need to get the browser from, so for opening the browser here, I need to start writing the Selenium code to get the browser, okay? And for the URL, even, I need to create and use the send keys here. See, I need to find, okay, driver find element. I need to start from the scratch because I do not have a page object class to to keep all these files inside the thing, the page object class. It means one of these is page object class. I mean, I need to have element inside the test, okay? Because I do not have a page object class, okay? A separate a page object class. Because, okay, here, page object class. So I do not have any of these. So I need to put page object class and element inside the same method, okay? And then let me just show you something that you guys learn better. Users and keys. Okay, user URL. Okay, and now for this, I need to use page object class, okay? Because for the URL, I typed it if here, the definition class, whenever you have something here, okay, as a URL, it creates a method and gives you one, I forgot the name, funny, one parameter here. So then you can use this parameter here, driver.getURL. What is the URL? When you click on the URL comes here. So then this method will get this is for the URL. This method will get this URL because you provided the URL here, okay? But so then I need to get the URL from here, then here for my driver. For the next method, click on my account, okay? Let me go to the code here we have, see the difference, okay? If I go here, click my account, I'm gonna see click on the desktop, okay? So for clicking my account here, easily, it's a user clicks on desktop tab. Imagine this is account. I easily use a method called clicked, see, called clicked. Where this method is inside my page object class. And then how can I access that? I create the object of the page object class, okay? And then I easily click on that method, I get it. This is the framework that you have page object class, okay? But here, when we do not have any page object class, we have to do everything by our own. We have to put everything inside this class. Again, driver, we have to find the elements, okay? After I find the elements, I identify the element, then I will do the action, okay? But when I develop a framework, I never do it. Let me just get the code back. Okay, but when I create a framework, okay, so I never do that. I only click on this. So let me just, this is click, okay? If I go and click on this, it takes me to the page object class. It means it says, okay, you put all these elements, okay, inside this variable, okay? And then you create a method, whatever name you put. Then you use this variable here, and then you click on this element. But here, I never have it. I never have it. I need to do everything from scratch. Okay, I find the element myself. Okay, I put everything here, and then I click on it because it says, okay, click on my account. And then it says enter username. I come here. So because whenever I do not provide anything in the feature file, guys, remember, I must provide it inside the definition. So do you see? I want to show you the difference. See here, user enter username. I provided the username. See, user enter password. I provided the password. But here, I didn't provide anything. Once you do not provide it inside your feature file, you must provide inside your definition class, a step definition class. Okay, let me show you. Yes. Again, I want to click on something, okay? So what is this? User should enter password. I need to come here. I need to come here, inspect. If you do not have any page object class, or you want to do everything in one class, that's why I'm just showing you. I right click here. What is this? And then this is the work that we need to do. Just keep on this. I want to create an XPath by ID, okay? And then I would say, just you guys learn // what is my tag? I forgot the tag. So what is the tag? Tag is input. I want to create by ID, okay? So input, and then ID equal. So I create an XPath for this. So what I need to do, I'm just giving you example. Then I will keep that. I come here. Okay, I want to enter username. Okay, so driver 5 element. I just created something like this, and I can replace it. So input.id username, input.id username. It's the same. I don't want to paste it. You guys just see. So this is different identification. I found it. What should I do? Okay, I found it. What should I do? Do action. What is the action? Send keys. Okay, well, after I send keys, what is that information? This is the information. Because whenever we provide information in a feature file, we must provide inside the step definition, which is not a good practice. Remember, whatever hard coding you have, it must be inside the feature file. Okay, whatever hard coding you have, it must be inside the feature file. It's a good practice. Okay, okay, I created this. Then I need to go here. So what is the element? Then I will find the element again, username. Sometimes when you already have a pass you already have an XPath here, okay? But the ID is username. So I just copy the ID, and then so that's something that we learned. I don't want to put time. Again, I'll come here. So find by element. This time is username, but the last time was what was that? It's password now. This time it's password. Okay, ID, password, send keys. Now what I created a fake account which the password and username are both the same. So what I mean, when we want to do it in one class, okay, this is one class. So we don't have a page object class. We need to find the element and do the action in the same class because we don't have a page object class. Okay, once we have page object class, we never do it here, so our job is much easier. In the page object class, we only create a method for that, and then we create an object of that class here. Then we create an object, then we just call the method. For if we call the method, that method will do the action for us. So why do we create method inside page object class? Because we want to use the method for doing the action inside the page object class. That's the only thing. Okay, that's why I'm just showing you here. I need to find it, identify it, and then do. Okay, what should I do? Send keys. That's fine. And the last one, user enter password. That's fine. And user enter username, password. This is another thing I want to show you. And user clicks on the login button. So I'm going to show you that's quick and enough for this. And after I did login, I find it. So I come here and see how can I find. Imagine you have it here. So login, input, class, whatever, submit. So you can just create an XPath, or if you don't, if you have no time, right click. If you have ChromePad installed, you can find, but never do it because you will never learn. Okay, so this is something that you can get, and then you come here again, you find the element, and after you find the element, you come here and click on the login button. Okay, I found the element by name, login, and now I do the action. So this is, see how there are a lot of things here. It's not a good practice. But another thing that you can provide the hard coding here. Once you provide the hard coding here, what will happen? So I have two things here. Let me just show you. Username, I put both username together, okay? So this is username, this is password. Let me just, this is very important, just learn, guys. It wasted most of my time when I was just learning it because it's important. Okay. For this one, I didn't provide a username. Enter and the username. When you do not provide it, you must provide it here. So find, then send what to send, username. The method does not give you parameter here. See, doesn't have a parameter because you didn't provide any information, hard coding here. But in the second one, let me just in the second one here, it's the same scenario, but I only provided hard coding for these two. See, user enter username. This is my username. This is my password. But here I never provided. Okay. But when you provide the information inside the feature file, here what will happen? Let me find it for you. User. Okay. It's the same scenario. Okay. Okay. Then I run my feature file. This time, a step definition, this is the same, user enter username, user enter username. But this username, I didn't provide anything. I provided here, remember. For this username, I provided inside this. Once I run, a step definition gives you a method which has a parameter. Then you can change the name, okay, a string parameter. Then when you find the element again, you still have to find the element and you send keys. Here you find element and you send keys. Here, instead of putting the element, putting the value, hard-coded value, you will just put the parameter that the method gave you and put it inside the send key. So this send key will get the information from here. Okay, because this is the information. It says, okay, put whatever you want. Okay, and then for password again, it's the same pattern. User enter password, user enter password. Here, this is the password. I didn't provide any hard coding here, so it doesn't give me a parameter. I need to put the hard coded value inside the step definition. But it's the best practice you provide it inside the feature file. Then the step definition gets it from the feature file. So when you run your test case, your feature file here, it gives you a method called ss, or usually it gives you a method. So then you can rename it. So for example, I rename it to password or pass. Then here again, find element. Please find the element for me. What element? This element that you found it. Okay. User enter password. You found the element. Again, you need to find the element. And then after I found the element, send something. What to send? You take this parameter and put it here. Then the step definition file, this line, because this line and this line is the same. These are mapped together. Once you run your cucumber, or you're running your test runner, it will take this from here. Okay, this is a good practice, but this is not a good practice, because you should not provide a hard-coded value inside your step definition. You use it here. Okay, and so I don't want to go further because you will get confused. So there are other differences, and also I think no, you may get confused. This is something. Okay, now I'm just doing everything. I create. I find the element. I do the actions or whatever. Okay, and I think that's fine. I think you guys. This is the thing. I do not have anything. I'm just doing everything inside one class. I find the element. I do the actions inside only one class, because I do not have any supportive class. I do not have anything to get from here. I put the URL inside this class. I put the elements inside the class. I put whatever I need. I'm everything inside this class, which is very complex and not understandable. This is the purpose of framework. So you keep everything separated and you just extend it and you get everything. Okay, now let's go to the framework. I wish it was a bit helpful. Okay, so let's start from, wow, I talked too much. Okay, let's start the framework. This is the framework we have, and how to create a framework and how to do the framework we just learned. We created a page, a Maven framework. Okay, once again, I can show you, but I'm not going to create. So new, other, here, Maven, next. So if you have something on your desktop, you can choose. So I created here. Okay, then you can just provide the path. You can browse if you have it on your desktop or something, you can create a folder. I can create a folder like the name is AA, okay? And then I want to create a new project. So I don't want to keep it in my workplace. I need it in my, I want to create it here. So I'll choose this, select folder, and it will be created there. Next. And here, the only file you can use is quick archetype, Maven archetype quick start. You got to get that one, and then after that you can finish and it will be created. So let me just show you this, and that's all. Maven. So when you say this, it gives you 3. You can, I usually use 1.4. So then next, here, project, and also the file you can provide whatever name you want, and next, finish. So this is the Maven project you can create, and so imagine this is the one thing. So I want to quick do it tonight because we are behind. So what I want to do is to do the desktop feature. Okay. So then you copy everything inside your feature file. I did the same thing. So when you create a Maven project, what you do, so here you right click on this. This is, you get one main, okay? You right click on this, then you create packages. First package, if you have a core class, you put it here. If you don't, you don't need to do this, okay? Then you create a page object class. Then if you have utility classes, the database utility or WebDriver utility, then you put them here. For inside test, create a package, run test runner, and inside test we put a step definition files. Then right click on the project, new source folder, create a source folder. You call it like whatever name you are required, source test and resources. Once you create it, then inside that you create your feature folder, and then you create your feature files. Okay, so these are important. And after that, you create an input data that I'm going to show you what is this. So this is something that you have to create and learn. Do you want, I think you guys know that. If you want, I can create from scratch, but I think there's no need for that. Okay. Now I close everything. The first thing I need to do is create a feature file that we created. So I put it the name, take this stuff, okay? This is my feature file. So how did I create it? I just copied everything from here. Okay, this is the first page. I copied everything from here. Let me copy it, but I don't want to damage this. So how to create a feature file? File AA.feature. This is the feature file. You get Control A, delete, then paste. So once you paste, you remember first that the feature must always be here first. Feature, then desktop. This is the first step. Okay. Then I teach you the other session that when you come here, there's some of, okay, let's get back. Some of these are repeated. Given user on the website, scenario 2. Given user on the retail website, given user on the retail website. So here we create a background keyboard. No time. Where should that be? So we create a background keyboard. And then whatever is repeated, we put there. Okay. So this is repeated, and then 1. So if you want to organize that, then you can just right click, pretty format. Then now everything is organized. Okay. So this is repeated. Once you put it there, then I come here, I delete this. No, I don't need it because I put it. Once you put one inside the background keyboard, that is going to be shared for all of these steps. Okay, like this. I delete this. I delete this. I don't need it because it's a share. Okay, now I go when user clicks on desktop tab 1, when user click on desktop tab 2, when user clicks on desktop tab 3, Okay, so I just get one of them. I'll get one of them. I'll come here. I'll put that here. Then I desktop tab, delete, desktop tab, delete, desktop tab, no, not delete. So now I don't have it. Okay, I go to the next one now. It says user clicks on desktop tab. I didn't delete this. I'll delete this. Okay, user clicks on show all this stuff. User clicks on show all this stuff, on show all this stuff, on show all this stuff. So this is all repeated. So I'll take one. I'll take this one, and then I put on inside under my background keyboard. So I'll delete this stuff, show all this stuff, and show all this stuff. Now I go to the next one. I say user should be able to should see all the items, so it's not repeated. Click on add cart, whatever. These are all not repeated, so they are not the same. So only these three are the same. So these are for this scenario. Even this scenario only has one den left. That's fine, because now these three are for all of these scenarios. Once you put the these inside background keyboard, then these are shared for all the scenarios and it should not be duplicated. So again, pretty. So now this is my feature file. I put everything here. So I need to run my feature file. And how should I run that? When you have two feature files with the same thing, then this is duplicated. They're not gonna work. Okay. Now it's the same as this one. Test stuff, the same as this one. Okay. Now what I need to do, if you see what is it should be green, but the reason it's not green, you see, it should not be this. See, it should be only this. Now it's green. Okay. Then if I change this to 6, now it's turning green. So now this is the same thing. I don't need it. I have it here inside my desktop feature. Okay. Then I just to teach you guys. Then I'm gonna delete this. Don't save. And then come here, delete it. Because I have the feature file here. This is the feature file. Okay. So what should I do? After I got everything, then we should run the feature file. We run the feature file through feature file cucumber. In IntelliJ, there is one feature. Once you click on one scenario, right click, it gives you to run that scenario. So right click, it gives you to run that scenario. Right click on the feature file, it gives you to run that feature file only. So use IntelliJ, it's the very fantastic IED. Okay, now I need to run this. So before running this, I need to create a step definition class. Okay, so we usually create a step definition class in source and test folder, not in the main. Okay, so I have it already here. So then desktop. Okay, I'm gonna delete this and be quick. We have a lot. Okay. So why did I comment this? Why did I comment this? Very important, because once you have one step definition that already has these steps defined, or it has ready method for this, you're not then Cucumber is not going to give you new methods or new methods to be defined. So now I already commented this, so I need to save this. This is my step definition. Then I will run this. This is the first thing that you need to do. Whenever you have any project, you start from the feature file. Okay, run Cucumber feature. Let's see if it's work. Because I already did it, it's gonna run, but we don't mind, we just need the steps. So do you know why it's not working? Because the browser will be popped up, but there is no method to work. See, the browser will be popped up, but there is no method to work. So it gives you all the steps. It gives you all this. So I'll copy everything. So first of all, you should learn this, okay? Let me copy. It says that you have 4 scenarios, okay? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 scenarios. These are undefined. These 4 scenarios, they have 27 steps. It means 27 methods should be created for these. 27 undefined. So as I told you, every steps is called, when you create a step definition, for every step, you have to create a method. But you have two options. I can just come here and start writing my method, but it doesn't make sense. So we copy and we come to the page object class, a step definition class for that feature file, and we paste everything here. Once you paste everything, let me just quick and do this. So you delete this. Imagine deletion takes this long. If you want to start writing the method, you will be finishing a lot of copy.
Rafiq, brother, may I have a quick question?
Okay, I'm gonna save this. Let's go in here and run it again. Let's see the difference. So they were undefined, they were already defined, and now, so the reason that it's popping up because the URL is popping up because of the initializer class. I'm gonna tell you, but there is no method to be implemented now. Scenarios 4, and they're all passed. What does it mean passed? It means there's nothing undefined. Everything is passed. Are you guys hearing me? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm following you, actually.
Okay, so let me. Here's
I think one of our classmates wanted to ask a question, I believe.
So you can unmute yourself if you want.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I'm mute. Can you hear me?
On my side is fine, I think. So now we have different steps definition. So what should we do?
Hello,
Let's come here.
can you hear me?
You got to learn it.
Rafiq John?
I'm gonna copy this.
John, can you hear us?
So we have this.
I think only
so we
here
created our feature
guys,
file.
not us.
Yeah, something's wrong.
Yeah, it's fine. Something is not working, so that's fine.
Okay, we created our feature file. So this is my feature file I created. Question. Sanjan, how can I unmute you? Because on my side,
Hello, can you hear
it
me?
doesn't give me the option.
Could you please guys tell him to?
Okay, you can not post. Can
Hello?
you unmute yourself, Sanjan?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Go ahead
Hello?
and tell me the question, John, and I'm gonna let him know if that's your question.
I cannot hear you. I'm not hearing anybody actually.
Okay. Can you hear me, John? Yeah, I think something is wrong with his side, I believe. Maybe we're all muted.
But I'm not.
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Can you guys hear me or no? Let me
Yeah.
know.
We can hear you, but I think you are not hear us.
Okay, but I cannot hear you guys. Let me see. Yeah, I cannot hear you. I don't know why.
Yeah, something's
Maybe.
wrong.
You can, if you have any question, just, I think you need to put it in the chat. I think now I can hear. Can you?
Yeah, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Perfect.
me, Dr. John?
Yeah, how are you, Sanjay?
Good, good.
Good.
I'm glad you fixed it.
Yeah, finally. So, do you have any question?
Not really, but you explain everything in details. Thank you. And I have issue with creating some methods.
Okay.
Create like writing methods to access element.
Okay, I'll
Like,
do it now. You have not started. No worries.
okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, guys. So what did we do? We created this feature file, okay? And then we run the feature file, okay? We run the feature. We have two options. By running it, only one option, yeah, not two options. Okay, by running it, we get a step definitions. So we get everything inside the step definition. And another option, yeah, two options. I'm just confused. Sorry. So one is running it to get a step definition. The other is start writing, create a step definition, start writing everything. That will take forever. So then we put everything inside the step definition. Now, here, there is a situation now. What should we do? We should have a page object class, not a page object class. So do I want, this is my choice, do I want to put all elements? And so what is inside the step definitions? Inside the step definitions, they are main methods. Only we have method inside the step definitions. Okay, we have methods. Okay, now, do I need to start putting the elements inside this or no? Should I put the elements inside another class? Just elements, guys. I'm not talking about actions, okay? Elements. Do I need to put elements inside, find the elements and put them inside the step definition class or no? Should I just keep them separated? If I want to put this here, so I should say, okay, I need to go and find elements. After finding elements, okay, then come to my step definition class and say, okay, driver dot find. If I want to do this, then I need to start driver, then find elements. I don't know by what. Then this is, I need to identify, and then do my actions, whatever. But then we have a page object class because we don't want to put everything inside the step definition class and make it complex. Remember, make it complex and too much code. Make it complex and too much code. This is the reason. Then we create a page object class and we put all the elements here. And now I'm going to go detail. I'm not talking about actions. Why? So I'm going to tell you. We create and we put elements inside the page object class. Okay. For what? For one element, two element, three element, four element. What are element? Again, any element you find here. So for this, we need to, the elements, they depend to, they belong to my feature file. So for one element, two element, three elements. So for every step, I need one element, guy. Remember, for every step, so runner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are one scenario. Scenario 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So for 5 steps, I need 5 elements. So now I need to find 5 elements only for one step. Okay. Again, for this step, I need to find elements. Again. These are all elements. Okay. I will find the elements and put them here. Let's go back to element, to a page object class. Let me show you something. Let's do definition, page object. So I found the element. That's fine. Then I save the element. So I'm going to delete this. Let's see. I deleted the elements. So the reason we don't do it, because after I find the element, I will save the element inside a web element. Okay. So that's a web element inside, that's a web element, and I'll save it inside the web element data type. This is a web element data type. Okay. Now I come here and I delete. So this is a link text desktops, and then so let's come here. So I found the element. See, I found the element, and then let me find something easier. This is, I found the element, web element, add to cart button. Okay, add to cart button. So I found the element, I saved it in the variable, and then I created a method. I'll delete this method. No error, no code error. Do you guys know why? Because this is the element, this is the method. So why do I create the methods? This is comes to picture. Okay, I find all the elements here. Okay, this is my choice. So now, why do I create methods, guys, for every element? Can you guys tell me why do I create methods for every element I find? Create method for the element I find.
To perform an action on an element.
Okay, good. To perform an action. So very good. Now we want to talk about that action. This is element I find. Then for every element, sorry for this blue things. I don't know how it comes here. So for element 1, I create a method. For element number 2, I create another method. For element number 3, I create another method. For element number 4, I create another method. 5 the same. Why do I create methods? To do actions. And now why to do actions? Okay, actions, let's see. Now I need these elements inside my step definition class. I need all these elements inside my step definition class. So, and then I need to access this class to use the elements, Then how to access? I create a, what's wrong with this? Then I create an object of for page object class. I create an object for page object class. Okay, so runner, a set definition. Then I want to access the elements, and then I want to access the elements. I don't mind, I don't care about these method, guys. I need the elements. Okay, I want to access the elements. This is the very, very narrow part that you guys need to know. But how can I access that? I need to access through object. Okay, let's get to the code. Let's go to the step definition. Let's split them. This is a step definition. Okay, now inside the step definition, this is a class page object. Okay, I created a method. This is the name of the class. Inside this, I create a method. This is the name of the page object class. Then I create an object. By using this object, I can access the elements. But how to access the elements? See, this is my method. By using the method, this is the method. See, this is the method. Click. I'm going to show you. By using, I want to access the element. But there's a question here. How can I access the element? So this is the element. How can I access the element? There is no way to access the element directly. We can only access the element by using the method of that element. For every element, we have to create a method. Then once we want to use the page object class, after we create the object of that, by calling that method, then we can access the element of that method. I want to log in, click on the login. This is the element for login. How can I access this? This is the element for login. What should I do with this? How can I access this? There's no way. That's why we create method. And then whatever we saved, I save the element inside this. I create a method, I put it here, I say, okay, click on this element. When you click on this element, it means you click on the login. Okay, that's good. But now, if I want to get access to this method, to this element or this variable that contains the element address, I need to create a method, and here by calling this method, I'll get access to it. That's why we create method, and once I call the method, I do my action inside the step definition. So page object, I know that it's messy, but we gotta tolerate. Anyway, so the page object, remember this, okay? For every element, I create a method, because in my step definition class, once I create the object, okay, once I create the object of this class, if I want to use it, I cannot use the element. That's why now, because I create one method, I'll create one method for every element. Then by using the object of page object class, then I'll call that method. Once I call the method will do an action on it. Okay. So for example, so I create a method for this. What action did this method do? This method click. So whenever I call this method, it will click. Okay. This is important. This is only created to be accessed by a step definition. If I don't create this, there is no way to access this element. I cannot do anything. That's why we keep elements, and for every element, we create the corresponding method. Because once we create the object here, if there is no method, there is no way to access this element. Okay, login, click on the login. I need the element for that. So that element is found. That element is already, this element is already found. Okay, this is the login, for example, is already found, and it is already saved inside this method. This element is already found, and it is saved inside this method. Now I want to access this class. I create the object of this class, and then my object, and then dot, I call this method. This method name is clicking, then dot. Was I clear, guys? That's why we say element and method. So don't be confused. Why do we create this? Because I want to use this element in another class. What should I do? I save it in a variable. I use the variable, then I click. I do not want to. So if I come here, I don't want to do anything with this variable. I want this by I will call this method, and this method will do this action on what? On this element. That's okay. I hope I was clear. So let's go. Okay. Okay, let's just see if I can do it. When user clicks on desktop tab, okay, let's just start. So given user is on the retail website. Okay, given user is on the retail website. So okay, ignore this. I'm gonna explain you because why. If you come here, user is on the retail website. Okay, and then we should not have this, but let's see. Okay, now when I have this, what should I do for this? Because there is no element. Okay, I'm gonna ignore this for now and start here because this has something with initializer, so you guys should learn it first. And then okay, now clicks on the show all this stuff. So I already created this method to access the elements, that all the elements are here. All the elements are here inside this class. I'm not here. Yeah, I'm here. I want to access them here in my page object. Okay, how can I do? By creating the object. I created the object instead of, so this is, I put the name, created the object, and then I want to call this. Okay, and then start from here. Let's go to the first one. We can also go to the feature file. Okay, user is on the retail website, so I want to ignore this for now. User click on desktop tab. Okay, what should I do? I just told you. Come here again. I create the object dot method. Okay. Okay, element method. So I create the object dot method, and this method does something on the element. Okay, element method, because here is a step definition class, and this is another class, and this is page object. I created the page object object here to access. Okay, now what should I do? I need to use the method name. So now come here and so this is the object I created here to access this class. Okay, to access the page object. Okay, dot. It gives me a lot of method. What method do I need to do? This is a good practice just to come here and see what the method name is. So user is on the retail website, user is on the desktop tab. Okay, you come here, desktop tab bottom. This is the name of the method. Okay, no, click on desktop tab. This is the method, not this. This is a variable. I need them. So by using this method, I can access this variable and do the action. So what is the name? Click. Okay, and then you should just find it. You click on desktop tab. On desktop tab. See, click on show also. I need to do this. This is the one thing. Okay. But now what happened? I did the actions. Let's go to this code. See what's the difference here. If I go to this code, for one click, I need to find the element first. Okay. Identify the element and do the action. But here, the element is already found and it's in another class, page object. By creating that method, I'm keeping it outside. By creating that method, the object of that class, I'm accessing to the method that element it is saved inside. This element inside is inside this method and is doing one action. So I call this method. What does this method do? This method click on this. What is this? This contains this element. What is this element? Website, desktop. So I did one. Now, what else I can do? So desktop tab. Let's come here. These are something that you can do just to learn better. Let's come here. So desktop, click. This is one, what happens. Desktop, click. Okay, but now before doing that, I can do something. I can do. So I can just enrich this a little bit more, okay? So I'll come here. I say if this desktop tab is displayed, this is page. Let's see. I can do some more actions on it that I did. Let me see if you guys do not get confused. Page object, desktop tab. Ah, man, I'm crazy. If, so you can do some things like this. Is displayed. Okay, if it's displayed, then click on it. So just learn it this way. So I'm just, you can, it is up to you, but if I were you, I put this, then you put it here. So what will happen? It means when you come here and this option is displayed, then click on it. So even if you remove this, this will work, okay? But you can do it differently. Or you can also do it if button is displayed and just learn whatever you, and, okay, and again, this option, you put it here, dot is enabled. Okay, then click on it. So first, if this option is displayed and is displayed, then click on it. So then what will happen? So what will happen? It will just go and click on it. Okay, so you have two options. So if you go here, if it's displayed, good. And if it's enabled, then click on it. To be honest, it is not gonna work because it will work, but you don't need to put this. But if you just want to learn better, then do it. Okay, where did I get that displayed and enabled? Now come here, guys, important. Then come here. So page object, we have supportive classes called web element class. Inside this web element, we have all the methods available. So what are the methods? Is enabled. Is for everything we have one method for is enabled, one method for is displayed, one method for click, and one method for send keys, one method for whatever. Let's come to it. Now, where do I get this? Let's click on this. Now I go to a web element class. We have it here. Okay, what does this web element class do? It has, if not for display, because this is a Selenium key, not only for this, but for whatever you want, you have a web element class. Let's just take a look at it. Utilities. Web element. What is a web driver utility class? This is by extending that we can use all the method from this class. See, okay, for every action there is one method for every action. So if you want to click, so there is one method created for click. So this method only for clicking. So public static void, this is the name of the method. There is one parameter, then you use the parameter and click. There is a method for sending keys. So web element string value, this is for sending keys. I'm gonna go one by one when we use them. So just this is a supportive class that have all the Selenium methods, all the Selenium method here. So we only access them. How do we access them? So here it extends base class, okay? It extends base class. Now, if you go to step definition, we also extend base class, okay? If I come and also here I extend base, if I go to the page object class, I extend base. I remove this. Then once you remove this, then the driver will not gonna work. This is gonna work, as I told you, it doesn't belong to the that because this is a Selenium code. Just realize that now. Okay, now, so if this that contains this element is displayed and is enabled, click on it. To be honest, you can delete this, it's gonna work, but I just wanna use this just so you guys learn where to use these things. Okay, and then it comes here. Okay, where was it? Here, then it's here. Is it displayed? Is it enabled? Okay, click on it. This is a good practice, the best practice. And after that, so now I created this. So what I need to do, I want to use logger. What is logger? Logger.info. So a step definition. So for every action you do, let me just copy this and write. For every action you do, you put a logger. What is logger and what does it do? So logger, when you do something and you just give a notation, okay, that when someone sees this notation, it means this corresponding method did its job well. So now, what is this step? What should I write? Click on, I can say user clicks on the desktop tab. Okay, user click. So was this successful or not? Whenever you, so what is, if something goes wrong, logger gives extra information. Okay, when something goes wrong, logger gives extra information. Where is the issue? The issue is here. Logger it says user clicks on the, okay, there's something wrong with this code. Okay, so we use logger only to log the information. It means to get the information. If something happens, if this code is not going to work, we should not look for anything. We only look at this text. Okay, this text is for this code. Clicks on the desktop tab. Okay, there's something wrong with the desktop tab. Maybe the element is not working, maybe the method or whatever. Okay, this is something that I did for you guys. And also, I can also say that this is done, okay? But you can also do something, okay? After you do this, you can say web driver manager dot web driver manager dot spelling. Okay, I can copy this and show you web driver utility. It's not manager, sorry. Okay, I'll copy this. So WebDriver, wait 3000. After you click on it, wait for 3000 milliseconds, or you can do it 2000. Okay, and then you get it from WebDriver utility class. WebDriver utility class. I click on it. Here, they have a method for this. See, they already, for everything from Selenium, there's a method. Okay, WebDriver utility class. If I click on it, on the wait, so for wait, there is one block of code. Okay, here. For this wait is already here. So wait int milliseconds. So whatever I put here, this is this variable or this parameter. Okay, so this is I'm using the other classes. Okay, this is WebDriver and it has all the utilities. So I'm using the information from this only by calling that class. Okay, so actually I'm not calling that class because it's extended by base. Since I extended base, I'm using that information. So they are supporting information. So this is something that done. So you can also don't use this. You can also do not use this, but logger is a must. You should use it. Okay. But now these two. So I recommend you guys just go this way. Now you use these two steps. This is very professional. So if it depends to you if you want to use it or not, but you can also use this as well. Let's only go with the other one. Click show user, click on all show desktop. All show desktop, what was that? Here. So user clicks on desktop tab. Clicks on desktop tab, show all desktop. So let's see. Here, when you go, after you get, then this is show all desktop tab. You just should click on this, okay? Now, here, if you come to see, there is only one method, click on it. I can do the same thing. Then I can also come here. So when should I click on this? When it is present. If it's not present, there's no need to click on it, okay? When it appears, then I'll come here, if, I'll copy this if only, okay? And then I'll come here. So I'm just going this, does you guys understand? So this is done, but I can add something in it. So if this time only display, there's no need for this. Okay, this time what I need to do, if show all this stuff, if it was in present, just click on it. If show all is displayed, again, I'm gonna use this, click on it, because there was the start button. Yes, now this is done. I'm gonna delete this as well. So now this is done. I will come here. What should I do? How can I do actions now? So I need to use this object again and again. Okay, how can I access this, guys, now? By calling this method. Click on this stuff, show all this stuff. By calling the method again. Just remember about what I said. I'm calling this method. And I have created the object and calling the method. So dot, what's the click name? Click on show. Click on show. Click on all show this stuff because I created the objects here. I'm using the object to access in there. This is important. And then once I do that, what should I do? Then again, I'm going to use logger. So you can choose it from here and then logger. So what did I do? So this is important. User clicked on I'll show this stuff. So this is important, that helps you what you are going on, what you are doing, what is going on. Okay, now if you want to add a weight, so you can just web driver, if you want to add a weight, depends to you. Okay, just do it. For example, after you clicked on it, wait for 1000 milliseconds. Okay, now so go together. This is the best way, because if you are only using this class, you will be lost because you don't know what to call. If you are calling something where this method is coming from, this method is coming from here because you created this element and you saved the element inside this method, and you are calling this method by creating the object of this class, and you are using them. That's easy. Okay, and now let's go to the second one. So let's go to the feature file. User verify all the items are present in the desktop tab. Verifies all the items are present. Okay, this is something all the items are present. Let me just teach you something if you guys are interested. So these are the items, okay? And now I'm gonna do something. So you don't have to do this, okay? What you do is that let me see what's items are present. What should I do first? You create your things. Normally, you put that. Okay, take a screenshot. Not a screenshot. Okay, let me just do something fun. Normally, what I did here, I think I just only took a screenshot. Okay, click another card. Wait. Yeah. So this is the screenshot I did here, but I'm gonna do something that you guys learn. So I can. The reason because this my bad. This a screenshot method is inside this web element utility, not inside this page object. That was my mistake. Okay, it's here. So take a screenshot. A screenshot from what? The user desktop. Okay. So this is the main page, test environment. User click on this, then clicks on this. If everything is present, then this test case is passed. User should see everything here. Okay. Normally, what is happening? They only take screenshots, but this is a feature file. So user should user should see all the items. But what I'm gonna show you guys, let me see if I can do something funny. Okay, this is very professional if you can do it. If you can do it, then we can get the job. If not, so no one will give us the job. Now I'm looking for an XPath to cover everything, okay? All the elements. Okay, so this is XPath contains FC, all the elements. Now everything inside this. I open it. Once I open it, I can go through all of these, see? One by one. One by one, one by one. So these are all here. So this is this one, this one, this one, but I need all of them. Okay, this is all of it. Let's get the XPath. So let me show you something important. So copy XPath. Let me get out of the topic and show you how to use it. Okay, so this is an important part. It comes in handy, and you guys should know it. Okay, let's come here. Yes. So what I want to do, I want to see what is inside this. Okay, this is the page I want. So let me So this is the expert, okay? So I want to use driver driver dot find elements, okay? Find elements because that's more than one. By dot nothing because I didn't find expert, yeah. By dot expert. So this is by expert. By dot expert. Okay, now I'm gonna copy it, and this is this. Okay, whenever you have this, what should you do? This XPath is not one XPath, okay? When it's not one element, it has a lot of element inside, okay? And then how do I know? I copy it, I come here, then I copy from path. So I copy it and control F. So it's not working, but it should give me expert. Copy, copy expert, then paste the expert. So this expert, this is only one element, okay? But it should be more than one element. This is very something challenging, guys. You gotta, if you learn it, that's perfect for verification. So, okay, these are the elements. So what I need to do, it only one, okay? How about if I put one, only one, okay. This is 4. So here, then, okay, I got it. Let's get to the project. Break object class, system information. Here, what should I do? Here, what I need to do is, since it only gives to one, I'll say if, and so let's see what I need to do. I need to come to take page object class. So let's see what this is. All shows bottom, and I'll create something here. So I create a find element. I create driver dot, okay, let's just create this at find by, and then here expand equal okay equal this. Okay. And then put this here. Find by expert. And then I need to save it in a private web element. I'll copy one of these and paste it here, and then I'll change the name. So the name is AA, for example. Okay, and then I need to change this in one. Okay, so I got the element here. What I need to do, this is important, okay? So I save it in AA, okay? So I need the element for this. Whenever I use this is for all of this. If they are displayed, then this might, I can just take a screenshot, but this is just something professional you guys learn. So if let's see, what was the name? So that's the reason I just showed you. Okay, now I need a method to use this public display. Public Okay. And here, so then I click, then I create the public method for it. I need this to get text dot get text. Okay, I need to get text of this. Okay, or I can also say is display. Now I'll come here. If what is the method I created for this display? Okay, if come here, dot display. If the display is now dot. So let's see what's going on. Okay. Let me try. Okay. And then here, I'll say, okay. It's a bit hard working, but very important. So now I created a method for this, and then is displayed. Then I call the method. So whenever this method is called, then it will be working. So, and then it means this is displayed. So this is web element. So you don't need to do this, to be honest, but this is something that because here it says that the user should see all the elements on the desktop page. So you can also use only the screenshot. Okay, and this is something that you can use, and you can also buy this XPath because it matches all of them. I want to see them. Okay, so that's fine. And web element just a screenshot. You can just only screenshot. So this is the important. I want to access this element, so I need to create a method for that. And then by using that method, I need to by calling that method, I will need to access the method. So now whenever this method called, it will see if it's this variable is displayed or not. So if you're confused with that, ignore it. If not, that's fine. This is just something extra
Thank you.
that I showed you guys. Okay, now I'm gonna show you one more. So this is something that very tricky, to be honest. This is very tricky, but if you're confused, don't do it because finding the XPath for such things are very, but if you learn it at work, you will get the job for such things if you do it. But if not, that's fine. So this is something that you, if you want to do it, do it. If not, okay. This is see the items. This is the one that is done. So this scenario is done. Okay, now the rest are easier if you just find. So add the click, add to the cart button if you want. Again, we have the thing here. So what is the thing? Click add to the cart button. So on HP, user is here. Then I'll open it. See, user click on this on add to cart button. Okay, then this is user clicks on here. So we have the element in the page object class. Let me just don't save it. So we have the element here. Let me just find it. So user show all the start. So add to cart button HP. This is the method. So what does the method do here? This is easy. So first they found it, it's found, then we create a method for that. So this is, and now I will call the method. What is this? Add to cart button. Everything is ready. Add to cart button. So for what? For add HP, add to to cart button canon, add to cart button HP option, add to cart button. So you gotta learn add to cart HP options button. HP options button. This is the thing. Okay, now if you you add it, but you can do something. What can you do? You learn it this way. If I want to do it, I'll see if this is enabled. If this is enabled, click on it. So that's easy. If you want to do it, do it. If not, so if I mean, just this is a good practice you guys can learn. If what? If this add to cart button is enabled, then click on it. That's fine. If this is enabled, click on it. Then you can do here. You clicked on it, and what you need to do, just get a logger for it. This is very easy. Get a logger, and that's fine. User clicks on the we add to cart. Okay, this is the thing one, and then a user select quantity. So user select quantity, and if you go to the here, after I click here, then user select quantity. What is this? Important. There is only one. There is the number one here. Okay, learn it. There's one. So what you got to do when you come here in your action class? Okay, so quantity. Then I found the element of the quantity. I put it here. Okay. After that, this is the variable. I saved it. Then I create a method. First of all, I need to clear this. I need to clear this. Okay. Quantity dot clear. So clear this first. After you clear this, then quantity dot send keys. What is quantity? This is the variable you found it here. Okay. So dot send keys. It means it will clear that and send keys. Now what you need to do, just so I want this. So what I need to do, I'll just call this method and it will do this action for me. So how? Just again dot, what was the name? Select HP quantity. So by using this method, and this method, what does this method do? This method will clear and then send keys to what? To this location, to this variable. What is this variable? The element of that is inside this variable. So this is why this is the element, and I created a method for it. And then here, if this was empty, there was no need for this clear. I wouldn't use this. But now, first, if you come to the page, there is number one here. First, you need to delete this, clear this, and then use your thing. So now I'll just call the method. That's very easy. And then I'll put a logger. So what is the logger? Logger is extra information about what is happening here. Okay. So user selects the what? User selects the quantity. Very easy. Selects the quantity. So you need a logger for every step you need, because it helps you whenever you have an issue, so to find the issue. So, and user clicks to add to cart button here. So choose one and clicks on add to cart button. Add to cart button. Here is important, guys. And after this, it's gonna be done. Do you want me to? Are you guys tired or no? Let me just show you this, and that's all. Here, user should add to cart button. Again, this is the element, add to cart button, click. I'll only call this method. Dot add to cart HP button. Add to cart HP. What is the method name? Add to, click on HP add to cart button. Yes. Dot click on. So click on HP add to cart button. So you click on this. And then you would see the logger. It's easy. So you just select the clicks on the okay. This is them, but this is very tricky, and user should see the message you have added. And this is the tricky part. How you want to do this? That's easy. Just you get the XPath for it, and then after you get the XPath for it, this is tricky. And then so actually I got the XPath for this here. Let me just show you this, and that's enough for tonight, I think. And the user should see this message success. And just want to show you that you guys learn. Okay, I got the XPath for this text. See, this is the XPath. First of all, what I need to do, I'll come here, and when I come here, you just should see. Okay. Dot. I think I didn't click on it. Did I copy it or not? Let's see. This is just kind of important, and that's fine. Let's come here. Okay. So what I need to do, I'll copy this dot driver. This find. So driver dot find element by dot XPath. So what is the XPath? I'll come here, Control A, C, and then I'll put the XPath here. This is the text I got. Okay, so this is the XPath for this. So what I want to see, I want to compare the text. Okay, so if the test contains this, the test will pass. So now I'll put it inside. So dot, I want to get the text. Dot get text. Okay, this is important. So I want to get the text. So what is this? This contains, yes, this is the text. You have success, you have added. Success, you have added. I want this text is now inside this XPath. Okay, I got the XPath of this text, and this text that now is at this XPath. And then I come here, I want to get the text inside this XPath. Okay, so get text, remember, whenever you use this, so I'm gonna close this. Whenever you use this, this is important. Let me just so get text. After I get text, you have to save it somewhere. So whenever you use get text method, you need to use a string. I need to put in a string dot, not a string text equal. So I save it in a variable called a string because that's a get text method. And now what I need to do, I want to see if this dot contains, if this get text contains what? Contains this message that should contain. See, this is a message, success, you have added. If this contains this message, okay, if this contains this message, what I need to do, then my test case is passed. Assert dot assert true. That's fine. So I think I did the same thing up below or something different. Let's see what I did here. So you should see the success. It contains. So yeah, I did the same thing, and then after I did this, what I want to do. So after that, I put these two. WebDriver screenshot, WebDriver. So you can take a screenshot, and this is the wait time you put after everything. You may put it, you may not put it. Okay, let's put one. So we are using these. This is a screenshot is inside the web element, WebDriver utility. Okay, and now whenever this message contains, when this clicks on the add to cart button, and then if this message appears as displayed, then you will get this. So now I got the XPath. The XPath contains this. Here I said, so this is the XPath. Okay, from this XPath I got the text. I get it the text from this XPath. This XPath contains this text. Okay, when you add it, because in the feature file it says um, let me just show you when that's enough. It says that the user should see, no, not this one. And user should see a message, success, you have added HP item to your shop or whatever, to your cart. And then, so you have added HP item. So now here only it has this, okay? If it has this. And then I said, if you see success, that's fine, because here it doesn't have HP item. Then you have to find another XPath or whatever. So this is fine. And now I put it inside the, I got the text. Whenever you get the text, remember, you must always save it in a string. And I put it here inside this variable. And say, here I say, if this text contains success you have added, that this is here, you have added, then assert true, then my test case is passed, or this step is passed, this step. And then take a screenshot and wait for 1000 milliseconds. So this is this step. You can usually put, if you can put only one screenshot, that's fine. But because the screenshot takes this message, the screenshot will take this message. But you can use this step, that will help you. And I think it's enough for tonight. Any question, guys? And I hope it was helpful for you guys. And if any question, that would be good. If not, so if you are fine with just taking a screenshot, you can, but I'm just showing you the more things that you can learn. And then that depends to you guys. Okay. Any questions, guys? We can just do the, so tonight we just mainly discussed about some other things, and we will be moving forward on Sunday as well. Are you guys gonna work, or you guys are gonna wait for this to be finished? I think you can work if you want. If I were you, I would work, but depends. So just put the page object and also the step definition to next to each other. You will learn a lot this way, because you will see the method. Okay, it's just a method. Start creating, and then if you want me, I can give you the code, but are you guys still confused? We are here now. We are here, I think. So now we are this step. So scenario 1 is finished, scenario 2, and also the rest are actually I have done everything here. See, these are done. These are all done, but I'm just doing for you guys. After it's finished, then we will run our, we'll be creating our test runner, and we'll be running this feature file. This feature file contains all of this. So any questions regarding this, guys, or you are good with it?
No question, Rafizan. Thank you very much. It was so informative and helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's start doing it. If you have any questions.